Welcome, motherfuckers, to the Matt Signal Podcast.
Holy shit! Oh my god! He's doing 2 podcasts 2 days in a row. There's wild applause. Why? Why is the crowd so excited in the studio audience, aka the Matt Cave studio, aka my sweaty ass trailer? Well, the truth is that obviously that's canned applause, because I don't like people in my trailer. That's not entirely true, but it's not entirely false either. But it's a celebration, bitches. We on the Death by Cheeseburger page, Ben Terhune and I, have finally generated 100 likes on our Facebook page, and I'm kind of excited about that. And I'm also kind of pissed. I thought you guys would let me down. I planned for that, and now I got to pony up the $50. Just kidding. I'm actually pretty stoked. That's why we offered the $100 in the first place. So the Matt Signal has basically become Death by Cheeseburger Presents the Matt Signal. I post this through that page, so that benefits this. I was chilling. I'm not quite ready for bed yet, and I thought, what the hell, maybe I'll yak for a little bit and just say how grateful I am to all of you cheeseburger fanatics out there who are helping us along in our goals. You guys are awesome. So since this podcast is going to be up before the next episode of Death by Cheeseburger gets recorded, I will go ahead and say that if you have not liked the Facebook page, facebook.com/deathbycheeseburger, please feel free to go ahead and do so. Up until the time of the drawing, we're going to put everyone who likes the page into the drawing except for Ben and myself. Yes, we do have relatives on there. No, we're not going to favorite. We're not going to. We're not going to do anything tricky. If a family member wins, they legitimately got pulled. If a friend wins, they legitimately got pulled. The vast majority of the people who have liked the page are either mine or Ben's friends or family. And so there's a good chance that it could be someone we know. It could be someone close. We don't know. But there's going to be, over 100 names in the drawing so far. We're not going to do the best we can to do anything. We're going to put you all in like a hat. We're going to pull a name out. If my mom wins, my mom wins. And if your mom wins, then your mom wins. So that's how that's going to go. I'm not going to disqualify the people who have helped me pimp this page out the most just because they're, people I care about. Shit, I got ex-girlfriends in there. I got all kinds of shit. It could be anything. You never know. So before we actually got to our milestone, I was thinking about a couple of things, and I was, I'm not going to get too specific because some of this is like work related, but I think it trickles out into life. I don't think it trickles out into life. I think life trickles into this. And so I figured I have a little bit I could rant about, but first you might notice the sound's a little different on this one than it was on the last one. As I've mentioned, this trailer gets kind of hot, and I am a big guy. I don't like sitting around overheating. So I'm using a different microphone so it doesn't pick up the background noise as much, but you might hear me being a little poppy on the hard P's and D's and B's and whatnot. So I apologize if that's a problem. I adjusted the volume I adjusted the volume levels a hair. I adjusted the volume levels a hair so that it should be a little bit easier to hear the podcast. I figure it's better to have loud as an option and turn the volume down than to have it only be so loud once you reach a certain volume. Like, you crank it all the way and you still can't hear the shit. Like, I was trying to listen to a little bit of it at work just to see how the sound levels were, and it was, stupid. Because I don't work in, a super loud place, and normally, like, if I crank shit in my headphones, like, I can't hear anything that's going on around me, which I like. But apparently that's not going to be allowed after a certain point. But as we all know, I don't get too specific about my employer on the podcast. I actually have a whole podcast that between the birds that were chirping in the background and the fact that my grandma just threw out my employer's name, I haven't gotten around to posting yet. I mean, I love the conversation I had with her, but the sound quality leaves a bit to be desired. So anyway, what I was thinking about today, how can I say this without being too specific? I work for a company that is subject to bureaucratic inspections on a periodic basis. And what that means is that every so often we get a phone call from a certain agency and everyone freaks the fuck out. I can't tell you how sick to death I am of hearing the sentence, the blank agency is coming. We need to make sure everything's okay. All right. What that says to me is that management is not too confident about basically the systems they've set up and the people they've put in place to work those systems. And when everyone's afraid, it's like, I don't care. I know how to do my job. I don't care if we get audited. It doesn't bother me. I can handle that. What I do care about is the people who are supposed to be in charge of me running around acting like scared children. I don't appreciate that. That makes me question my lot in life. That makes me feel like I'm in the wrong place. I don't necessarily strive to be a leader. I more than anything try to be an individual. I think all of us have the capability of falling into certain categories and labels through different things that we enjoy, maybe actions we take, people we associate with. All of those things factor in. And life is a gigantic flow chart, and I'm not going to say all points intersect, but all people are made up of multiple points that intersect with others. So no, I might strive to be an individual, but I'm not that unique. I know that if I like something, then at least, a certain percentage of the world will like that thing also. I know that if I do a certain habit or engage in a certain behavior, there is a oh shit, I lost my train of thought because Ben Terhune just messaged me. You son of a bitch, you ruined the podcast, Ben. What else is new, man? You ruined Death by You ruined Death by Cheeseburger, and now you threw off the vibe of my Matt Signal Baby podcast thing. When I think of what I was trying to say is that I try to be an individual, but I'm not unique. Meaning that I try to stay true to my convictions as much as possible. There's a thing in the human condition where, for some reason, we can't have a moral or a belief or a virtue or something that just goes untested. And so, I have the word truth tattooed on my arm, but I have told lies since I got it done. And that's just part of the not duality, that's just part of being human, man. None of us are perfect. None of us are, we have our ideals, but do we? Do we really always go 100% down the virtuous path? I don't think so. And I think that a lot of people are very quick, and this is survival instincts. It's not I don't think that people are trying at their core to be shitty, but I think they do. Like, it's one of those things where you got to talk about like intention and action. And to me, intention doesn't matter. It's action. So, I don't like to say I didn't intend to hurt you, because the fact is I hurt you. And to say that I didn't intend to do it is like, it's just trying to make me feel better about what I did. And that's not the, like, if I feel bad about something I did, then I probably deserve to feel bad about what I did. And I don't need, and I'm not saying I've never done it, and I'm not saying I'll never do it again, because it's a human thing. But like, the truth of the matter is, I failed to take into account the feelings or response or effect that my actions are going to have on a person who I might claim to care about. Therefore, when I hurt them and I try to apologize, if I say it wasn't my intention, I really am kind of being a selfish douchebag at that point. And that's like, you still chose to do it. You knew the consequences of your action, and you did it anyway. Your intention is irrelevant. Your action is what matters. And I try to remember that, and I sometimes fall short of that myself. I'm not going to say, like, I expect all people to be perfect about it. I just expect that, like, if you're going to be associating with me to, like, not take me for granted, not, like, I don't know, whatever. People aren't perfect. And even when people do these things, I tend to want to make excuses and back, like, not just write them off, because it's like, just, I care about somebody. Just because they're doing something like I view as stupid or dumb, or like, and those aren't even the right words. And like my lately thing, I don't even like that I said them, because that's not what I mean to say. Like, you're doing actions that are thoughtless, that are heartless, that are like selfish, that like you're not taking into account everything. And like, you to say that it's not your intention is wrong. Like, you did what obviously you intended to do. The consequences of that action are every bit as much a part of your intention as the positives of what you're doing. So you can't choose to how can I do this? You can't choose to do something that's going to hurt somebody and say it wasn't your intention to hurt that person. If you don't think about the consequences of your actions, that you don't get to use "I didn't intend to do it" as an excuse. Because you did something for some reason, and what you did was fail to take into consideration the other person's role in your life, or like how this is going to make them feel or whatever. Your intention was still to hurt that person, because you were thoughtless, you were careless, and you allowed something to transpire or to happen that hurt that other person. So it was your intention. And it can go further than that. But the point of this thing was actually leadership. So when I see leaders who are in charge of me running around, freaking out, yelling at not yelling's the wrong word, constantly reminding everybody that they need to be in tip-top condition because such and such is going to happen, what I see is bad leadership. Because I imagine, I don't know all the names and ranks of people in the military, so I'm probably going to sound stupid here, but like a soldier in the field who's a leader, so I don't know, captain or whatever, whoever's in charge of like a platoon or a unit or, small group of people, if you are about to try to accomplish whatever it is you're setting out for, and the way you do it is by being like, "We're all gonna die!" That's terrible leadership. That's horrible. You have to be cool in the clutch. You have to be the one who's reassuring everyone else that everything's going to be okay. Now, yes, I understand you want to go through and dot your I's and cross your T's. I get that. But to shake everyone down over the course of days and just constantly stress everybody out just indicates that you're not confident in your leadership abilities. You're not confident in the systems you've been employing, in the people you've been assigning tasks to. You're not confident in the people beneath you to do what needs to be done in order to assure that things go the way they're supposed to go, which sends a message. As a leader, you don't want your entire crew looking at you and being like, you think I'm fucking worthless. You think I don't know what I'm doing. And in reality, most of the people who are in charge of me or somewhere near it haven't been around as long as I have. Not the only reason, there's several reasons I haven't moved up the chain, and not the least of which now is that I'm just burnt out. I don't want to. I like what I do when I'm allowed to do it. Like, I'm a production worker. I'm also a trainer. Like, I teach people how to do my job, and that's the part of the job that I enjoy. That's the part where I take something from it that is more rewarding than my paycheck, because my paycheck ain't all that. It's okay. I mean, it'll work, I guess, but it ain't all that. And so, like, when I get the chance to take something, like, for my soul from my job, that's a good thing. And I don't get to do that very often, so I enjoy that. Teaching someone how to do something, interacting with them in a way where, like, I'm guiding you along, and that would be cool in almost any job, you know? So that helping other people thing, I get off on that. As far as the minutia of being a laborer, of being an entry-level employee, the just mindless droning bullshit, and the meetings. What the fuck is with companies and meetings? Fuck meetings, dude. I fucking hate meetings, because it's always like this. It'll always be like, there's a new law that was passed and it's affected this policy and we had to change this procedure, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And inevitably, there will always be a person in the group that will raise their hand and ask a completely unrelated question like, but are we still going to have tacos on Thursday? And I look at them and I'm like, I already hate meetings, dude. I don't like them, because we're at the point now where companies literally just tell people to have more meetings so they can say we're having meetings. Fuck that, dude. Leave me alone. I don't want to have your meeting. If you could put it in a memo, don't call me to a meeting. I don't want to do it. And there are people who are like, yeah, but it's time off. You know, you don't have to work, blah, blah. I don't mind working. I don't mind it. It's okay. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm above, not working as much as I could. I'm not going to act like I'm Mr. Perfect, because I'm not. I'm not Mr. Always in line with every rule. I'm not a shining example of, I'm not a model employee. I can teach you how to make something, and I can teach you how to do that the right way. But I'm not an example of anything else. And so, like, this isn't coming from, like, I'm a gold star employee. This is coming from, like, I just don't want to fucking have meetings all the time. I don't like when you pull me up and, like, out of what I'm doing. Here's the thing. When you go to work and you can consistently work all day long, uninterrupted, and, like, have a good pace, and, like, the day goes by a lot fucking faster. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in making this 8 hours feel as short as I possibly can. So if I have an 8-hour day and we have 3 meetings, and those meetings drag on for a half hour, and then that leaves me at a weird spot in the product, and then someone has to go take a shit, and then, like, all these variables go off in the same day, those meetings really just, all that shit just makes the day drag on longer, because that's more time I'm sitting around staring at a damn clock. But when I got my head down and I'm just churning out work, it just goes. Like I don't have to, I don't I don't clock watch as much, and I don't, I just kind of get lost in the flow of what I'm doing, and the day goes by. But I'm really annoyed by poor leadership. And it's not that I'm criticizing individuals here. This is more of a systemic thing that I've been encountering. And I don't think it's just where I work. I think it's a much bigger thing. I don't know how big the scale is on this thing, but like, yes men seem to be the order of the day. And these are people who will tuck their tail and do what they're told. They will not rock the boat. And that's what managers and ultimately like boards want. You want yes men. You want people to carry out the mission. And you want I'm not that guy. I'm not. I can't be that guy. I can't just like when someone tells me to do something and it just doesn't make any sense at all, and you don't have like a rule somewhere where you can point to it, you better expect at least a question or like an alternate suggestion or something from me, because I can't. And if you make me feel bad or like I'm not allowed to ask a question, that's when I become a snarky dickhead. Because I don't like to be told to do idiotic, nonsensical bullshit when I'm not a stupid person. I'm not the smartest person in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I think that a lot of people I know actually really overestimate how smart I am. And it annoys me at times because it's a pressure that I don't want to deal with. Like, the truth of the matter is this. I read some fucking books, yo. That's it. I like fantasy. I like Harry Potter. I like Lord of the Rings. I like the Sword of Truth series. I like a little bit of sci-fi. Whatever. It's just fucking stories, right? But sometimes these authors use big words. Now, instead of being, like, intimidated by the big word, I grab a dictionary and I look it up. It's like really easy. And then now I have a new word that I can use once in a while when I'm talking to somebody so that I can present myself as not quite as dumb as I really am. In several ways, I'm an idiot. In several ways, I'm kind of smart. And so it balances out. And I don't like when people put so much emphasis on my intelligence, or so like you could blah 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 blah, and it's like, you live in my fucking head for a while and then have people just continually say this shit. It feels like too much pressure. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm being put on this pedestal that I don't feel worthy of at all. Like, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a great person. I treat the people I care about well. That should be basic whatever. Like, if I love you, you're going to know it because I'm going to do, like, loving, caring things. And if I hate you, I probably just won't talk to you. And I might talk shit about you behind your back because I have character flaws. Like, it really just... I think that a lot of the people in my life just see me through a pair of rose-colored glasses because of that thing I said, where, like, I do very nice things and very selfless things for people I care about, which makes me appear to them to be like a great person. And then on top of that, I use big words so I don't sound dumb. So you think I'm like super capable and super smart and super sweet, not you, like the certain people. And it's just like, I mean, I'm kind of smart and I am thoughtful for you. Like, I don't do that for everybody, and I don't stop and give $2 to every homeless dude I see, and I don't fucking always donate to charity, and I don't, like, I often get in like cussing matches with people that are just doing random shitty things that annoy me, like, and that's not very grown up, and that's not like a super good person thing to do. I'm fucking human like everybody else, and sometimes it feels like everyone puts this pressure on me that I should be someone I'm not, or that or they make this assumption of me that I am someone I'm not. And it's like, are you going to ever take the time to get to know me? Like, are you going to like, or are you just going to like create this image of me and then expect me to live up to it? And that's kind of where I'm at now with a lot of things. It's like, yeah, I mean, people have really kind of created a sort of false image of me where I don't feel like I can live up to it. And I don't even want to. Like, it's not really me. I'm thoughtful, yes. And I mean that in the way that like I'm caring and kind and giving to the people I care about. And I think about shit. Like, I don't run from my emotions. I encounter them. I don't always know how to deal with them, but I let them come. I don't fight them off. You know, I don't drink them away. Here's the thing, and when I'm in a bad place mentally, which is, you know, a lot of times it's lately been almost any time I'm alone, I don't drink at all. I don't know where that could end up. Like, I don't know, because I know that sometimes I'm irrational. Sometimes I do some dumb shit. And I don't want to do some dumb shit while I'm here by myself with some moonshine and then my car keys are on the table and I am not myself. Right now, that sounds like the dumbest shit I could ever do, right? If you're sober out there, you think so too. If you're drunk, you're probably like, oh, I love going for drunk cruises. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Drew. Anyway, I don't want to put myself in a position where I have to answer for behavior that I wasn't in my right mind when I decided to do it. I'm already a little irrational. I'm already wrapped up in things that I can't control, and I'm already emotional, and I don't need to give myself an extra incentive to go forth and be stupid. So I try to hang out with people, and I think, like, but I'm not like a bar person. Like, I don't want 500 people around. I want one person around. And, you know, if I can't have the family situation that I want right now, and as much as I believe me, I've been chiseling at that rock, but like, I just want a friend, one, preferably female, to be honest. And that's just because, like, females are more understanding of relationship woes and shit. And not even just that, but for some reason, like, I don't know, dudes just get on my nerves sometimes. Like, the mentality of dudes where, you know, like, we're automatically gonna switch to, like, fuck that bitch and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't do it. I don't care. Like, I'm not a macho dude. Like, I never have been. And, that's not to say I'm a puss, but I'm not like, oh, He-Man. Like, dude, I have emotions. I feel them. I experience them. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I cry a lot. I spend more time missing people than I should, and I just, like, I don't always know how to get out of that. And that's, you know, for better or worse, where I'm at right now, that's part of who I am. And I don't like being around people who are, like, pushy, who are used to being in, like, the power role. And to be honest, dudes who take, like, an authoritarian approach towards me don't get good responses. I'm generally kind of passive. I let people do their thing, but when you try to bulldoze me with anything, when you try to fucking, like, grill me, you're not going to get a good response. It's going to piss me off. And I don't care what your message is or how right you are or how right you think you are. You're not going to get through to me like that. You will never get through to me with that aggressive male attitude. Like, and I can tell you most of my best friends in the world are all women. Now, I've come to a place in my life where I through experiences and traumas and what have you, I've become a little more awkward as I've gotten older. And, you know, certain things kind of manifest themselves as you go along. And when I had the chance to start therapy when I was younger, I didn't think I needed it. So I turned it away, and lo and behold, it might have been beneficial. But it's cool. I'm working on it, and it's fine. I just don't like the authoritarian male thing. I don't like bad leadership in general. I don't like unsolicited advice. I don't like text barrages that like seemingly out of nowhere. I don't like people who get mad at me because they don't like how I feel. Fuck you. Do you think I like how I feel? Do you think this is comfortable for me? No, it's not. I'm actually not a person who like takes comfort in the pain of my past. I hate that I keep ending up in it. You know what I mean? So like to then just like attack me like I am fucking enjoying this. Like I'm making a conscious choice. Look, motherfucker, I love somebody and I'm not willing to give up on them, and it's that simple. I see things that make me want to keep going. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe someday I'll wake up and I won't feel this way anymore, but it's not fucking today, Junior, so back up off me. It's not a big deal. Like, look, man, we all go through periods of suffering. We all go through, sometimes we make bad choices. Sometimes we hold on too long. Sometimes you were right to hold on the whole time. And I don't know for sure that I'm going to find that out, but I got a feeling I might. In my soul, in my gut, that's what it feels like. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know exactly what actions are going to take place. I sometimes fear what I'm going to find out, like it's going to be something that like maybe I'll end up getting what I want, but maybe I won't be too happy with how it happened. Or maybe I won't. And maybe there's going to come a day where I have to do some very hard things that I haven't been able to do so far. But that's in my time. That I don't feel better when you ask for it. There are certain individuals on this planet who have the ability to make me feel better. Most of them live a long ways away from me. The one who does the best job is doing what they're doing. I don't get it. It sucks. I don't like it. They know. I don't know what else to do, except just keep saying it. So I don't know. It's kind of like this weird thing where, yeah, I'm in a funk, or I've been having a lot of bad shit happen, and I've got a couple health issues I'm trying to figure out, and what, it's definitely not all perfect up in here, but I try to handle it as like, I don't know how many times, like, someone will be like, what's going on with you? And I'll just explain it, and then I kind of laugh, because it's like, yeah, if I was almost anyone else, I wouldn't still be dealing with this. But I'm not almost anyone else. I'm me, and I am an individual, and I do what I believe in. And sometimes that means I have to go through hell. And it's my conviction. It's the hill that for now I'm willing to die on. And so now when you come at me and you expect me to get on board with your perception of how things are supposed to be, you're creating a confrontation that it's never going to end like with me being like, oh, you're absolutely right. I should do exactly what you asked me to do, and I should definitely stop telling you to go fuck yourself. That's not going to happen. So this got kind of real a little bit. I mean, it's my podcast. It's sort of a journal. It's, whatever's going through my head when I feel like doing it. So that's where we're at. And if I made you chuckle a little bit, great. And if I made you think, that's cool too. If you're bored, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Ben's a little better at the one-liners when he's doing his stream of consciousness. So, follow him on Facebook and maybe watch that. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just kidding. You should listen to us both, and then you should listen to us both together. And then you should listen to anything else we tell you to listen to, because we rule you. That's all I got. So until next time, in the meantime and in between time, go fuck yourself. I love you.